What can you tell us about the connection between the spiritual body and the nervous system, and how that affects us?
Well, the nervous system, you know, gives strength actually to our muscles, to our bones, to everything. And so if we have a nervous system that is, you know, able to breathe and have space and have light within it, and is able to be much more at peace in these times that are very, very stressful and challenging, it makes a platform for the, you know, the pathway, or for you to be able to listen to yourself, for you to be able to understand and hear what you're supposed to be doing. And it also gives the courage, like the strength. Like if you have a nervous system that is really strong and really solid, you know, that makes your immune system stronger because your electromagnetic field is stronger, so it's keeping out bugs, or it's keeping out energies that, you know, perhaps are going to help you feel weaker and, you know, susceptible to disease. But also, just by having that space and that, you know, grace, you're able to, yeah, like really, your spiritual body's able to release prana, and you're able to, like, be more alive, be more vital, and actually get on with what you're supposed to be doing. Like, the other thing with how it changes or makes you more aware of how you think, it leads you to be able to understand that, you know, you've got something to do. And I feel that one of the biggest changes in my life that's helping me see, you know, how to be more efficient and more useful in my life, and have much more joy, is, you know, understanding that I have a purpose and that there's something for me to do, and there's something to me to be of service. So I feel much more fulfilled, and through that I have much more energy, and I'm much more efficient in what I do. Yeah, and so that when I have, say, relaxation time, it is relaxation time, and it's much more joy-filled because I've got energy to do it with, but I'm also feeling satisfied. And I think that, you know, in this world we're filled with so much, like, do this, do that, like, have this, have that. It's like, but it's none of it's really filling our hearts, or our making us feel like, yeah, I'm having an okay time, this is okay, and I feel good in my heart.
Moment.
Yeah, and to be here. So it's like, if your nervous system has that experience of, shall we say, peace, or, you know, even has a glimpse or a taste of what that feels like, which Harmonium gives you, you know, then it's got an experience that it can rally behind, or it can be like, wow, what was that? I think I really need to experience that more, or I'd like to experience that more.
It's easier for it to come back into that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And also because it's like, oh, I need to, perhaps I should, you know, eat this, or perhaps I should try to go to bed earlier, or perhaps I should walk a little more, or whatever it may be, or, you know, and it could be maybe more serious, and on, you know, but there's many sort of testimonials and many stories about miracles that Harmonium has done, just personally, on, like, a couple of times. Like, there was one time I was really struggling with, you know, just flu symptoms, but quite full-on ones. And I received a Harmonium, and I was just so amazed that in 50 minutes my state of being could change so dramatically. Like, I was feeling really, like, not good, and then in 50 minutes I was like, wow, okay, you know, like, I felt like I could function, and I had much more brightness in my mind, and I was like, okay. So I was like, that was amazing. And then another time I'd hurt my foot, injured it, and I was having trouble walking. And I got on the table and somebody worked on me. They didn't touch my foot, they just worked on my skull and my spine. I got off the table and I could walk, like, very easily, and I was like, wow, you know. So these are discoveries for myself that I've had personally, but there's many stories.
Well, I know we didn't talk about this one before, but can you tell us, like, some of your favorite experiences that you've had with Harmonium, giving it to other people?
I feel kind of so private about that in a way, because everybody's experience is different, and I feel like it doesn't help when people have expectations too much, you know, like, I really like to be very clear of what's going to happen to them. Say, you know, I set out the things so that they're not like, what's she doing, la la la, but that they just surrender to their process and their experience.
All right.
Yeah.
Where can people find out more about Harmonium? In New York City.
In New York City, they can go to Nam Yoga New York, or they can go onto Root Light, and or else there's a Harmonium site. So there's 3 places you can get Harmonium. There's quite a lot of Harmonium practitioners in New York, and there's a Harmonium site where you can look for a practitioner in your area.
Okay.
And there's if you go to rootlight.com, there's a whole Harmonium page there as well, where you have testimonials, you have there's many articles being written about Harmonium and its benefits. So, and then by God's grace, you'll be able to go on to cindyaickman.wordpress.com, and I'll have you know, articles about Harmonium as well, and just more personal experiences there.
And you've got some exciting things going on yourself.
Yes.
Can you tell us about those?
I'm about to move to the South Pacific, or take Nam Yoga and Harmonium and to New Zealand. I'm going to be opening a centre in New Zealand with Nilamani Wright, and it's going to we're going to call it Nam Yoga New Zealand, but it's definitely going to have Harmonium and reflexology, and also New Zealand flavours there as well. I hope to have te reo Māori classes at the centre, kapahaka groups, and involve dance and performance as well, and as much art as possible.
I'm so looking forward to hearing about what you end up doing.
I'm so looking forward for you coming.
Yeah, definitely.
and doing your work there.
Yeah, that would be really amazing too.
Yeah.
And you have a workshop coming up.
Oh yes, on the Friday the 28th, a workshop. It's called Attitude is Altitude, and we'll be working with Nam Yoga therapies, like with breath work and physical exercise, mantra and mudra, and to just bring our focus on our attitude, and if we change our attitude, then everything looks different, and we can, you know, we can meet our challenges, which are really gifts, because where the stresses brings focus, and truly where our weaknesses are can become our strengths, and they're just guidelines to help us improve, and you know, so but also having an attitude that is kind and loving to yourself, then you know change can happen. Because really, you know, change only happens in the now, but it only really happens when we have a state of acceptance and allowing and of loving ourselves. So as much as, you know, I'm still understanding those words and the concepts that, or the states of being that go with these words that we, you know, throw around a lot these days, but you know, like I really do believe that, you know, an attitude of gratitude, or you know, really can switch it and just soften your heart and open your mind to the best possibilities for you.
And it's a lifelong lesson too. It's
exactly,
you know, once you open that awareness, but it's like you're learning your whole life.
Totally, because you know, I believe that we came here. I mean, the purpose I feel of our lives is to open our hearts and to really work that out and have that balance, so that we can be in the now. But yeah, like we came here to work, you know, it's not a place to just be like, oh yeah, la la la. It's like I also got this thing of like, well, it doesn't stop here either, you know, it's like we keep going, it's just another experience, so I'm like, I kind of want to make them better. So I'm like, let's improve.
Or it's not like you get somewhere here in this life,
right,
and then that's when you stop and you just like chill out on the beach.
Yeah.
It's like, you're always learning and growing. I love that.
And so the process, right, we want to bring joy to the process, so that we have a longer time of it in a sense, but that we have a better time of it. And that, yeah, there's suffering, but the suffering is only, you know, that only the signpost to like help us be better people, you know.
It does. It's the lessons.
Yeah. So they turn into the joys ultimately, because we wouldn't be here if we didn't have them as such, you know, like they just like make us, help us turn the corner, shall we say.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Cindy.
It's always my pleasure
to talk to you and be around you.
So much my pleasure.
Well, thank you
and so much.
I will include all of the links to Cindy's website, as well as the Nam Yoga information and Harmonium information below this video. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.